Night Whispers.
Needs a hobby. So what's yours? Resurrection.
This is the prodigal propensity of familiarity. There you go, that's a mouthful. Sexier, secular, an all-intrusive world. God is no sullen eye, rejected lover, my friends. And he said, next please, and moved on. I tell you, if God's working in your life today, and you know it, don't miss out on his grace. You might just move on, you know. Who can be saved? I tell you, the whole world.
Night Whispers, 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 whispers.
And here's Robert.
The title of today's Night Whisper is Next Please, and your Night Whisper word is choose. John 1 verse 11 to 12 reads, He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become the children of God, to those who believe in his name. Who can be saved? I tell you, the whole world. Jesus came first to that apple of God's eye, the Jewish people. Now then, for today, it's not so much the eschatology, dispensational or otherwise, I want to speak about, or the missiology that I want to look at, but rather it is that rotten propensity of familiarity and its natural prodigal consequences that I want to look at. There you go, that's a mouthful. Let me explain it to you. The strangeness of humanity is that sons and daughters often reject the blessing which their parents have received. I've been a pastor long enough to see that not only must each generation choose for themselves which path they will tread, but that path they choose is often contrary to the one chosen by their parents. I've also observed that there's no formula to be applied to families to ensure right generational choices. There's no definite equation to be followed which will lead to the right outworking of the sum of all sensibleness. No, each generation chooses their own direction, and often it is contrary to the good direction chosen by their parents. This is the prodigal propensity of familiarity. Now, when we allow family and church, education and all social connectivity to become subject to the louder, greater, cooler, sexier, secular and all-intrusive world, what else can we expect? Do not underestimate the seductive power of the present world. When this seduction takes place, we can go to our own, but they can reject us. When Jesus came to his own, they rejected him. The power of their present day, you see, pulverized their capacity to see and to desire the grace that was set before them. Allow me today then, for effect, to speak in total human terms, if I will, when I say that the consequence of such rejection is that God will take his offer elsewhere. God is no sullen eye, rejected lover, my friends. He knows that his offerings are awesome. If you don't want them, someone else will. I agree with one pastor's approach to courtship when a young man is encouraged to approach a young woman and say, hey, I've got a job in the Bible, will you marry me? And if the answer is no, then the young man is simply to respond by saying, okay, next please, over his right shoulder, and moving on to ask the same question of another. Jesus came to the Jews of his day, and in familial contempt they said no to his offer, and he said, next please, and moved on. I tell you, if God's working in your life today, and you know it, don't miss out on his grace. You might just move on, you know. Listen, now when one of those who sat at the table with him heard these things, he said to him, blessed is he who shall eat bread in the kingdom of God. Then he said to him, a certain man gave a great supper, and he invited many. He sent his servants at supper time to say to those who are invited, come, all things are now ready. But they all with one accord began to make excuses. The first said to him, I've bought a piece of ground. I must go and see it. I ask you to have me excused. Another said, I bought 5 yoke of oxen. I'm going to test them. I ask you, please, to have me excused. Still another said, I've married a wife, and therefore I can't come. So the servant came and reported these things to his master. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, go out quickly into the streets, the lanes of the city, and bring in here the poor, and the maimed, and the lame, and the blind. And the servant said, Master, it is done as you commanded, and still there is room. Then the master said to the servant, go into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. For I say to you that none of these men who were invited shall taste of my supper. Luke 14, verse 15 to 24. Pray with me, please. Father, come once, and then come twice, and then 1,000 times come more knocking upon the closed doors of the deaf and the ungrateful dead. Father, wait once more at all of our unopened doors, and please, great heart, do not depart from the dwellings of those we love and long for, nor ever move the night light of your presence from the halls of our abode. Amidst all of our faithlessness, please, O God, be faithful. Amongst all of our waywardness, please, O God, be steadfast, be straight, and be true. Father, be all that we are not, for we have forgot your goodness and your greatness towards us. O Father, forget me not.
Join us tomorrow for Night Whispers. Same time, same station.
Tonight's Night Whisper was brought to you by Pastor Victor Robert Farrell, author of Night Whispers and president of the 66 Books Ministry. If you want more Night Whispers, then please go to www.night-whispers.com. That's www.night-whispers.com.
Don't miss the next Night Whispers. Night Whispers. Night Whispers.